Good morning, ladies and gents, and welcome back to my channel for another video. So, okay, first things first, I got the Juvia's Palace pH something lip gloss, and it's supposed to like bring out the natural color of your lips. I do not believe my lips are this color. I don't know how I feel about it, but I tried it on for this video. Probably should have just stuck to my topicals. Anyway, I just had to get that out the way. And then also, where it's so hard when your camera is reversed. Like, I'm trying to show y'all my and if you're dyslexic, trying to show y'all my Christmas Lego set. It's right there. It's a tree. It's a 2-in-1. You can make it that way or another way. I did my own little touches on it. But yes, my little Christmas thingy. Y'all probably will see this video after Christmas. Anyway, let me get to the point. So I was on Pinterest scrolling as I do. Also, guys, it's very early and I'm very tired. And I feel like my lips look a little crazy because of this lip gloss. Besides the point, I was scrolling on Pinterest as I do, and I saw this skirt, and I'm really into mini skirts right now. Even though I would never wear mini skirts to the lengths that people have been wearing them right now, I'm very into mini skirts. And I saw this mini skirt, and it has like this cute little ruffle detail. I would like to call it like a junk skirt. You know how they have like that junk, like little theme going on right now. I guess I'm sounding old. Don't give a fuck. Anyway, they got that going on right now. I saw the skirt. And I'm like, oh my God, I have a skirt that I can't wear anymore. Like, y'all, I can't even fit this skirt. I'm not even gonna lie. So if you guys want to buy this from me after I'm done, you are more than welcome to purchase it from me. Because honest to God truth, I don't think anybody in my family that like this would be age appropriate for can wear it. So it's probably gonna have to get sold. I'll put the measurements in the description in case you have the same measurements of the skirt and you would like to buy it. The skirt fits my waist, but it don't fit my badonkadonk. Because when I used to wear this skirt, it was back when I was a little skinny mini before I had kids and I didn't have no hips. Like I got hips after I had a child, can't fit it, right? So anyways, let me show y'all the skirt so I don't keep yip yapping. I did post a picture of this skirt on my community page, but this is the skirt. It's just like a little denim skirt that I purchased from Forever 21 ages ago. It is a size medium from Forever 21. So if you wear a medium, just know that you can fit this girl. But I like how it has the white stitching. This skirt, me and this skirt, we go together real bad. I wore it to Coachella. I wore it to like Afropunk in Atlanta back when I was actually doing stuff, right? So I also had this little extra piece of, what is this called? Extra piece of fabric that I used in a skirt that I made early last year. And I figured I would use that for this skirt. And then y'all know this pocket. This pocket is from my last upcycle. It's the pocket that I removed from my pair of pants, right? So I have that. I also randomly had like all these little strips of fabric that are kind of the perfect length that I need them to be, or like the perfect width that I need them to be to add a little ruffle detail to them. So for some of these pieces, I think I'm going to pleat them because I love pleats. And when I take my time with pleats, they come out magical because like these pleats I really took my time with. The material was thin enough to where I can iron them down really well, get them very nice. So I think I'm going to do some of these as pleats, some of these as ruffles. And then I also have this shirt from Express that I got a stain on. I used to wear this to work, but I don't anymore. But it has like these cute like lace ruffle sleeves. I plan to remove the sleeves from this and use it for a tier in the skirt. And then last but not least, I still have all of my flannel fabric. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use any of this because I don't know how well it will mesh with this part. So I think I'm going to make all of these into the ruffles or the, what's it called, pleats that I want, and then see how I feel about that. I also have this denim piece from that last upcycle I made, and I kind of want to cut it into a strip and maybe make some pleats out of this as well. I'm not sure how well this fabric will do with that, but we'll cut it straight and then see what happens. But I was trying to think of a way to be sustainable. Hold on, let me put y'all up here. I was trying to think of a way to be sustainable, but also I wanted to make an upcycle that's a little bit more realistic to people because I know a lot of the clothing items that I make are from scratch, or it's like, it is an upcycle, but it's a little bit more of an advanced upcycle, at least in my opinion. So this is one where it's like The skirt is already made for you. All that you have to do is add some things onto it. And fortunately for us, with this skirt, when you open it, it's a flat surface. And that's not something you would get with like a different type of skirt, like if you didn't get a skirt that has a button in it. So since it opens up, we can just attach the material to it when it's in its flat state, which will make it a lot easier to sew on top of, as opposed to sewing around a round object. That's what would happen with like any other skirt. I also did think about this, is the fact that it does open like this. I could just insert an extra panel into it so that I can fit it. But quite honestly, I'm not about to do that, because yeah, sometimes you got to make stuff to be given to other people. But also, I'm currently on my journey to lose a couple pounds, because girl, I've been slacking off. But I don't think even me losing some pounds will get me into this skirt. Like I said, I have a badonkadonk now. Badonkadonks don't really go nowhere. Okay, I don't know how to lose a booty. The only thing that my butt has done has grown. It's just grown. Okay, so I'm about to start preparing these pieces. The one advanced thing I am going to do is use a serger. I know a lot of you guys will not have a serger, but I plan to serge the raw edges of this material because this material does fray quite a bit. The pleats on this will also fray along the bottom, but I think I'm okay with that for this type of material. And then also, I don't want to ruin the pleats that I have. I kind of want this to be as little work as possible. And I hope this lip gloss is. See, I hate lip gloss that does that. And now it's going to be in my video. I think I probably put too much on. Anyways, like I was saying, I'm going to start by serging all the raw edges of those pieces. And then I'm also going to cut my other pieces off so that I can have them. So let me get this off, and then I will be back for the serging portions. This does also, I feel like it has a little bit of staining in the armpit area. I may avoid using that portion just because I'm not sure how it's going to manifest on the actual garment. But let me actually take it off so we can see what it'll look like. And just a fair warning, my daughter and I are here by ourselves right now. My husband's at the gym, so we might have a visitor in a little bit. You might see my girl, you might not see her, you might hear my girl, but just fair warning. That's why we're also using the mic, because I realized it has very good noise cancellation. Like, it only picks up like me, and I love that. So okay, let me stop yip yapping per usual and get back to it. But also, how are you guys doing? I forgot to ask y'all that at the top. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you are well. I hope y'all not sick like me and hanging on by a thread, because your girl, I'm still kind of sick. You can probably tell by my voice, and you probably like see my nose running a little bit. Ew, I know, I'm sorry. But it's just what it is right now. Everybody's sick. Okay? Okay. I started listening to a new audiobook again because I forgot like I had audiobooks. So I've been listening to Just the Nicest Couple. I could update y'all and let y'all know if I like it or not for real. Because I'm literally only like, I think one chapter in. Okay. So now I'm trying to decide to seam rip or not. Like, should I just cut this off? Let me see how difficult it's going to be. And then we'll decide. I'll probably just fast forward y'all through this part. Y'all don't need to watch me seam rip like in real time. So, talk to y'all when I talk to y'all. Okay, so we have finished seam ripping these off. It is actually very fast. They do have like the sleeves have like this little scrunchy part right here. I think it'll be fine. But I have both sleeves off now, and it did give me like quite a bit of fabric. I have these two pieces. They look like about maybe like 20 inches long. I'm not gonna scrunch these, but I am gonna serge the raw edges. So I'm gonna start to no, I'm not going to start serging just yet. I'm going to line everything up and then get my denim piece and cut it into a square. And once I have that cut into a square, I then will go over to the serger to get everything all nice and serged so I could start attaching it to the skirt. Okay, I'm about to just cut this into a rectangle. Nug Nugs, I hear that you turned Gracie's corner back on. She out here playing me, y'all. I'm not trying to get no copyright. She doesn't get it. Be your own kids. So let me just take my rotary cutter. Hopefully my mic isn't going to pick it up. Is this straight? I hope so. Because, girl, the way I'm not about to work extra hard to find out. If the ruffles are crooked, I think that'll be fine. Like, I think, you know, give it some character. It's one edge. Pretty solid, pretty solid. Okay. All right, let me cut the other edge. Okay. We love a rotary cutter, baby. We do. We really do. And then I need to... I don't know about using these pieces either. They're like rather big, but I'm like, it might help to add, you know, a little bit more dimension to the skirt. I don't know if it needs it necessarily, but it's like I could have that if I want to, I guess. We're gonna leave those pieces. Let's just do the other ones first. All right. That is a square or a rectangle. There we go. Now, let's get to serging. Okay, so here we are. We have all of the pieces serged on that top raw edge. I have 2 of this length. I have 2 of this length, 1 of this one, and 1 of this length. I thought these 2 were the same length at first. Apparently they aren't. And then I have these 2 pieces serged. Now I'm gonna go iron my skirt real quick because I'm trying to, you know, do things the way that I told y'all the way that they need to be done. These are pretty flat themselves. This is already well ironed itself, and I did sew the pleats down. I remember in my other video I told y'all if you really want the pleats to stay, this is what you should do. So that's what I did on this one a while back. So this skirt is a bit wrinkly, so I'm gonna go open it up, iron it out, and then come back and arrange these pieces how I would like them on the skirt so that I could begin to sew them on. Okay, so the skirt is ironed now, and I'm just gonna open it up so that I can start laying out things how I would like them to be arranged on the skirt. And keeping in mind that it's a skirt, so it's still gonna be like a little bit curved when we attach stuff to it. I think the first thing I wanna attach is that pocket and what's it called? The camo pleats. So first things first, let me just fold one side, trying to make this as flat as possible. And then I'm gonna pin it on. That way when I take it to the sewing machine, it's not gonna be, you know, so crazy and all over the place. What did I drop? Uh-oh. So I'm gonna take this pocket, and I want the pocket to be like lined up with this seam right here. So I'm gonna put it like this. And my goal is to not sew through the pocket. So since I can open this, I should be able to just sew underneath this. So like not sew through the pocket and this part of the fabric. I'm gonna just sew through this part of the fabric. And then I'm gonna take this one, and I think I want it lined up right with the hem of the skirt. I don't want it to go past the hem of the skirt, because some of y'all like short skirts. I'm not that girl. So then we're gonna take this part and fold it under so that it's in line with this seam right here. And so when I'm sewing this on the sewing machine, okay, you see how I have this like folded under? When I take it to the sewing machine, I'm gonna take it this way first, and I'm gonna sew this down, and then I'm gonna fold it back over so that it'll be in place like this. And then just sew this down. Again, do a top stitch on this part to keep it like really in place. Hopefully I can with these buttons. and then I'm gonna sew it across like this. I think I am gonna leave this exposed, I believe, because if I don't, then I would have to sew this up like this first, then back down, and then try and like figure this part out. I think that's a little too much. So we're just gonna leave this open. I think maybe it'll give it a little bit of character, hopefully. And I do intend to match like the white stitching that's on here. I could also just top stitch this down from the start, but I need to see like how it's gonna actually look so that it doesn't, you know, come out cray cray. I low-key think, hold on. So on this piece, it's a little like crooked. I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut that to be straight, real quick. There we go. All right, now I can attach it. We'll probably have to use the zipper foot so that we could get close to these buttons without having to worry about running into them or removing them from the garment, because this is supposed to be, you know, a little upcycle. We ain't deconstructing nothing. That's why I opted out of what's it called, adding a panel to the skirt so that I could fit it, because like honestly for my butt I probably have to add so much. Okay, and then let's see. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. So I'm gonna stitch right along this seam right here all the way down. See, I knew it was doing some crazy stuff. But, you know, it's okay that it was doing something crazy. Like, you see the fabric right there while it's all bunched up? That's where the machine was, like, struggling to get through. Totally fine. Not gonna see it. Now that we have this portion done, I'm gonna flip it over. See, I'm gonna flip it over back on itself, and that way we're hiding where we sewed it on in the back. Like this part is gonna be hidden when we flip it over. And then we can just sew across the skirt like this. Sew right across this, but we're just gonna have to lift the pocket up though. I don't wanna sew on the pocket yet. So that's fine. Now I'm gonna just take it back to the machine. I'm gonna sew down right here and then sew straight across right here so that this is fully attached to the skirt. And then I also will need to fold this down so that it's a nice clean edge once I get to the part of having this fully attached to the skirt. Like, let me give y'all close. So like this part, I'm gonna also fold it down. But instead of being able to, I'm not gonna really sew like a understitch where you can't see it. I'm gonna just do a top stitch straight down because this skirt already has like the white detail thread, so I think it'll be fine. They did use a thicker thread than the one that I'm using, so it'll look a little different, but it'll be okay. That's not too shabby. Let's look at what it looks like. This skirt is deceivingly thick, I guess. Okay, here we go. You see? Let it focus. Got our little seam there, and then now we're about to go across the top. I'm gonna change back to my normal foot though. We don't need the zipper foot anymore. go. All right, now we're gonna sew across the top. I did end up going back and fixing this stitch because I had caught the fabric in a weird way to where it was like buckling and making the skirt smaller. So I took that, seam ripped that out real quick, redid that stitch, and it came out beautifully. And now, oh no, oh yeah, it did. Oh, I'm tripping. I thought it had like, didn't do something on the back. We're good. So now I'm going to take my sewing machine and follow along this stitch right here so I could kind of cover it up. And then we're gonna work on putting the pocket on. I think this may be the harder part, putting the pocket on, just because I kind of got to keep it aligned to the side seam of the garment, but you know, we're gonna get there when we get there, okay? One step at a time. My sewing machine is funny. What stitch is 91? It changed its own mind. Girl, go back to 1. That was crazy. So the front is gonna look a little different. Like the start, okay. My machine is making me mad because nobody asked you to do all of that. We want to start right here, okay, girl? I'm trying to stay on that line as much as possible. I don't know how great that's gonna go, but we'll see. And I have pinned all the way around too, like, so I pinned this way and then I pinned down on the other side seam so that I don't mess up and get it in a position to where I'm gonna have to seam rip to be able to fold that piece of fabric under, like I showed you guys earlier. And like, I don't know, like part of me is like, I be explaining stuff to y'all, but also I don't know if I'm qualified to teach y'all, but I'm just trying to explain kind of what I'm doing in case you want to copy me. Because I'm by no means a teacher yet, because I'm still learning. Bless you, Mommy Sita. This is what it looks like right now with just the denim or the camo sewn onto the denim. I did leave this open. And then now we're about to take this pocket and we're gonna sew it on. All right, make sure my needle is gonna line up where I think it is. It is. All right. Okay, so the thing that I've done off camera is take these little pieces and add pleats to them. So I've pleated majority of them. Remember how long they were. I still have one down here that's pretty long that I think I'm just gonna do around the bottom of the skirt. But these are quite small, so I think I will only get a few rows out of those. But for this one, I wanted to show you guys how I was doing the pleats. I'm not measuring them or anything. I'm just making the pleats by vision. I'm just looking at them. So I wanted to show you guys how I was doing that too, because pleats, I don't know, I like them. They're fun. I haven't ironed these ones and I'm trying to figure out like how professional. So to do the pleats, this is what I did. So this is the right side of the fabric. I'm gonna flip it to the wrong side. And the first thing I did is just take about like 1/4 of an inch and fold it back on itself. I'm just taking this little portion right here. It's kind of hard to see because it's all the same color, but like this little portion, just folding it back on itself. and then using some clips to hold it down in place. And then once I have that done, I'm gonna flip it over to the right side so I can start doing the pleats. And so what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing a small piece of the fabric, pinching it together, and then folding it back to make a pleat. And one thing that I am trying to make sure I'm doing a very good job of is when I fold the pleat back on itself, I want it to line up straight so that the pleats don't end up curving. So if you offset it a little bit and do it crooked, the pleats will start curving, and that's not necessarily what I want right now. I want my pleats to be straight, so that's what I'm gonna work towards. All right, and then pin that in place. Sorry, I kind of did that off the camera, but I just put a little pin in it so that the pleat will stay. And then I'm gonna grab another portion. And like, honestly, I'm not measuring. So like if the pleat looks a little bit too big or it doesn't match the other ones, I'm just going back and, excuse me, and fixing it. But as you can see, it's lined up on this side straight, lined up on that side straight. So once that's done, I could pin it. I'm gonna just keep doing the same process all the way down. I might add like a long one right here just to keep my pleats flat because they're not ironed yet. Typically you would iron these down and press them really good so they'll stay. Okay, and then for this last piece, I'm just gonna take it and fold it under and then apply some clips so that when I sew this together, because I'm gonna go to the sewing machine first and do a basting stitch across it so that it folds down on and under on itself so that that end isn't loose to fray and just like do whatever the hell it wants, because that's exactly what it will do if you don't sew it down. So I'm gonna just pin it under so that I know when I go to the sewing machine what to do. And I think for these, I'm gonna do a basting stitch across, but also down the pleats so that the pleats have more structure and they stay better so that they can look more like these pleats that I have already applied to the skirt. Because if I zoom out a little bit, so zoomed in. If I zoom out a little bit, like you see how these pleats, they hold their shape really well. I want the other pleats to do the same thing. Okay, so I have finished sewing it down like I said. So you see how like, let it focus on the pleats. I sewed down maybe like 1/2 inch. And then once I did that, well, first things first, I did this basting stitch and then I sewed down 1/2 inch on each of the pleats. And then I also sewed down that back little piece that I folded under. And then once I finished sewing down everything, I went to my iron and I just gave it a quick little press. Honestly, this looks like a little Barbie skirt. It's so cute. So I'm gonna do the same thing to all of my other pieces over there and then be back, because this is like kind of like a lengthy process and that's why pleats kind of take so long, but I like how they look once they're complete. And like if we put it on this skirt, kind of cute, kind of doing a little something. So I'm gonna finish the rest of these and I think we'll be fine with the pleated pieces we have plus those lace pieces over there from that shirt. But yes, BRB. Okay, so I have finished doing my pleats. I have ironed all of them. I did the little stitches down on the pleats so the pleats stay pleats. This piece I'm not going to pleat, I don't think. I think I'm gonna leave it. It's just like a little long strip along the bottom. I'm gonna attach everything to the skirt and see how I like it. For this denim piece right here, I haven't exactly figured out what I want to do. I might use my gathering foot on my serger to just gather the fabric up a little bit. And then we have these pieces that we need to attach and I think we're done. Okay, so now that I have everything prepped, I'm going to start pinning everything onto the skirt. You may or may not hear my daughter crying in the back. She don't want to take her nap, even though it's very necessary for her to have it. So once again, I'm gonna just fold the edges over on the pieces where it's the edge piece. I need her to be quiet. I ain't in the mood, girl. And I'm just gonna take it around the skirt, making sure not to like pull it tight because I still want the skirt. It doesn't it doesn't have much stretch, but I don't want to like take away any stretch that is there. So I'm gonna just pin this all the way around. If y'all disagree with this part, I'm sorry. I think it'll be okay because it's literally the perfect amount of string of this to go all the way over to the back. My only thing is this is gonna show on the back side. So for this one, I may have to, what's it called? I don't want the back of the skirt to look bare, but also I just don't want that to show. So I may have to stitch this differently, but let me just pin everything on and see how I feel about it. And then I can adjust because when I come back to sew it anyway, I'm gonna have to remove it as I sew. Well, remove the like bottom one to get access to the next tier. But I just want to pin stuff on and see how I feel about it. Because I'm trying to figure out, like, if I just leave the back of the skirt bare, like, is that okay? Because this one does overlap with the back of the skirt a little bit. But I don't know. I need to see if I have more camo fabric. If I have more camo, I could go up to, like, this point on the skirt with the ruffles. Let's see. I don't feel like I have more of that fabric. Oh, but I do. I have more. It's our lucky day. Oh yeah, we have enough. We have enough to do another one roughly that size. Yeah. Yeah, okay. And then hold on. We have denim. How we feel about the denim? I think a little denim gathered moment might look okay. So far, this is what I have. I didn't plan this whole chain situation. I might end up doing one because it does look kind of cute with it. But this is what the skirt looks like right now. This is the front. Like this side, I left it a little bit plain because I feel like there's like a whole lot going on this side. So if there is some chain action, it may be on the other side. I know my inspo pics did have little chains on some of them. And then this is the back. Now the back, I don't know about. I feel like the back is real plain. I don't know if I should carry over this ruffle over at least to like this part under the pocket because I do want the pockets to still be accessible, but I don't want to cover them up. I don't know if I have more of this, like a large enough piece of bandana to cover this portion. I will check and see because I think that might be what's required unless I take this under one off that I didn't ruffle and then do 2 layers of ruffles right here just to match with this, just to keep it balanced. But I'm not sure. This is where I'm going to stop today. I'm going to let it rest and see how I feel about it later. But so far, this is what we looking like. This is what we have. I did end up taking that denim and pleating that. And I did the same thing on all of them except for on this side of the camo. It has white, and then this one has black because a different project I use black on it, but it's fine. Like, it's still gonna work. But yeah, we gotta figure this out. Don't look over there. None of your business. But yeah, this is what we're looking at for today. We're gonna stop right here. Good morning, ladies and gents. Well, it's morning for me. But anyway, let's get back to what I did with this thing. So after letting it sit for a couple days, I determined that this is the pattern of the pieces that I like. But I also did a little something, something too. So on the back side, I went ahead and added a little bit of like a, I don't know, like, I guess like a little ruffle detail just around the bottom of the skirt. I was originally going to put something on the pockets too, but I think that might be like a little bit too much because I have these 2 extra pieces of scrap fabric. I was considering putting them on the pockets, like just sewing them around the pockets. I'm going to attach everything and see how I feel about that. I feel like it might be like a little bit too much, might make it look a little bit too tacky. Like, I understand that it is like a junk skirt, but I don't want it to look too junky. And then I'm also trying to figure out how I feel about this little gap right here between these 2 pieces. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make something shake to where it's not showing, but this is what we have. I also do need to go in and add some chain detail. Like, let me bring out closer. Like, you see this little chain that I have? So there was this bralette I was gonna make, right? I was in the process of making it, got pretty good ways into making it, and then got to putting it on this. It didn't work out well. So I have all this extra chain that I have. So I'm considering using some of it to like add like a little, punk detail to it. I don't have any like little charms or anything to go on this part, but I do have, chain to go around the garment. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make sure everything is pinned in place to the actual skirt itself, because I got lazy when I was doing some of this and I did pin the ruffles directly into the skirt and into the dress form. So I'm gonna go back, fix all my pinnings, and then once my pinnings are fixed, we're gonna take it to the machine and sew everything in place. I'm excited. We're almost done. I also hope y'all had a Merry Christmas, because I was recording this before Christmas, stopped, had Christmas, and now we're back. It's literally the Friday after Christmas. So I hope y'all had a good Christmas. I personally did. I got some stuff I didn't expect, but I like it. Can't wait. Can't wait to put some outfits together with what I got. But yes, I will be back. Okay, so now everything is pinned on. Moment of truth. I checked under it with my hands. Let's take it off. Let's hope, y'all. I'm scared. I ain't never did nothing like this before. All right. And we still were pinned somewhere. Where the heck? This is why we checked before we remove. But it's just this top one. I didn't think about it, but I'm like, how am I gonna avoid this pocket? I guess we'll get to it when we get to it, right? Because I don't know. I'm really big on making sure the pockets stay pockets. Like, women's clothing do not be having pockets. Like, I get we got purses, but I want a pocket. And that's why I added the extra one. We need some pockets. Okay. Let me turn her. All right, cool. This is it all spread, fanned out. And now we just need to go take it to the sewing machine and sew everything that is not attached onto the garment. And I love the fact that this skirt is flat, because now I could go and like kind of just straighten everything up real quick, pin it down like for real, and then go to the sewing machine and just... Okay, so I have my fabric, well, not my fabric, the garment laid out. I'm just double checking all of my pinning to make sure I can access everything with the way that it's pinned in. For the most part, I can. Some parts I can't. So I'm adjusting it so that when I get to the sewing machine, I can just flip sections up and sew under. I don't want to remove the placement, so I could guarantee that it stays accurate. So I'm just lifting each piece up, making sure that I can access it while it is pinned to the garment. Show y'all a little bit of what I'm doing. So I have this piece right here. I did end up going and serging this. This was one of the only pieces of the bandana fabric that I had not serged. So what I'm doing right here is I need to sew this going the opposite way first so that I could fold it down and you won't see this seam right here, because on this piece of the fabric, this one's already hidden. You're not going to be able to see that one because this piece comes down over it. But for this one, I don't want it to be visible. So for all of these pieces that are on top that are the top tier of the ruffles, I am taking them and pinning them the opposite way. So I'm just trying to line it up kind of like with this stitch right here to the top of this one, so that when to the top of the line on this ruffle, so that when I fold it down and fold it over, it's going to be right in line with this other level of ruffles, so that it'll be like somewhat even. Like, yeah, it's going to be tiered and layered, but at least it'll be a little bit even in terms of like where the ruffles lie and like where they fall. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to do these. I'm going to pin them one piece at a time, I think, because on the underside, I'm going to do a zigzag stitch. And then when I go fold it over and do that top stitch, I am going to do a straight stitch. How much is that going to preserve the stretch on the garment? I don't know. I really don't. But if that is my little attempt to preserve stretch. And like, if you're wondering, oh, why does she keep saying use zigzag stitch for stretch? Like, the general rule of thumb is if you have a fabric that is stretchy or has stretch in it, if you want to preserve that stretch, you use a zigzag stitch, because the zigzag stitch can expand and contract, whereas like a straight stitch is kind of like just locked in place. So I don't think it'll matter that much since this is denim and denim doesn't really have stretch. I don't even know like what this is made out of because I cut that tag out. So it could be made of like a certain percentage of spandex, but we really don't know at this point. So I'm about to just pin and then sew, and you guys can watch along. Almost forgot. We're not leaving this on here. Forever who? Forever Ashley, girl. What? Hold it. Okay, now time to clean up the inside. So we got the tag off. The tag is gone. It was a size medium like I told y'all. So let me not do my broke now. But this one grown out. Which one's better? Neither. But it's a size medium in US and several other places. We don't know how applicable and how true that is, because that sounds crazy. But we're just about to clean it up. I'll be back with y'all when I have the final look. Okay, are y'all ready for the final reveal? Are you ready? I don't think you guys are ready. I really don't. I really, really, really don't think you guys are ready, but let me show y'all what I did or whatever. I feel like I might go back and make some more alterations to it. I ended up not doing the little chain detail, but it still looks fabulous. So let me drop y'all down. All right, so this is the finished product. As you can see, you know. Hi, Eli, baby. I did not stitch these two together, but they are overlapping. I'm considering going back and adding a straight stitch right here. I'm not sure. But I absolutely love the way it came out. All the ruffle detail, how everything is nice and covered. Like my ugly seams, like these little bad boys right here that don't look too hot, nice and covered up. And then these just overlap so well. I love how there's a lot of movement. I wish I could put it on because I feel like it would look even better if I put it on. But as you hear my daughter, she's singing ABCs. But look at this. This is like a nice little detail right here. I feel like the little please back up. Hold on. Please back up. Go with Eli, okay? So I like how it's nice and tiered. You still have your layers. There's different sizes of pleats. I feel like it doesn't look as plain as I thought it would. I feel like it gives what is that called? Like, you know, the skirts that have like the little ruffle detail around. The only thing is I did mess up a bit right here. This is a little bit uneven. But outside of that, like, I think that it's fine that it's uneven. Then we have this other side, and this is a functional pocket. I don't know, maybe you want to put your phone in there. Not sure, because it's a back pocket off of a pair of jeans, so it's pretty big. But I love how, like, this side has its own little vibe going on, and then when you turn it around to the front, it's kind of like nice and cohesive, because you have the jean tie-in here, you have camo here, and then we have our bandana, which is like a very nice play on this red. I'm glad I had this color of bandanas, but let me give y'all a little bit of a close-up, and then we're gonna close it out. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. I don't know whose vlog I was watching. I was watching somebody, and she was like, do they even still have notifications? And I definitely went and checked, because I'm like, I can't be saying something that's not real. What? So turn on those notifications. This is going to be dropping on an irregular day for me. It's going to be dropping on a Saturday. And you could look forward to my next video being a recap of what I made this year. Because this year I did surpass my creativity levels more than I usually do. Like, I had a lot going on just because I pushed myself to be consistent on YouTube, and that did pay off for me, right? I did get a ton of new subscribers. I got people who are mutuals now. I have people that I communicate with. They cheer me on. I cheer them on. Like, it's a beautiful thing. So that's what my next video will be, is everything that I made in 2024, and then some of the items I'm looking forward to making in 2025. Also, like, I might try and tie in some hairstyles, because I have some hairstyles like I really, really want to try next year. And I don't want to lose sight of that on this channel as well, since I am doing so much creative sewing content. We might have to get separate YouTube pages in the future. Who knows? Who knows? Anyways, let me stop yip-yapping, give y'all a little bit of a close-up of this beautiful, beautiful garment. And then we will be out of here, and I will see you in the next video. Okay? Bye.